Hello friend, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Marc Chianelli and I'm a stage 4 cancer thriver. In this video, I'm going to talk about my journey through cancer. Let's get into it. Before this all began, I was perfectly healthy. This struck unexpectedly, hitting me like a sudden storm, out of nowhere, without any warning. 2 years ago, 2022, I got hit with some pretty heavy news. I was diagnosed with a rare aggressive form of penile cancer, stage 1. 1 year ago, on June 1st, 2023, I received a devastating diagnosis of palliative care, incurable, inoperable, terminal, stage 4 cancer. It had metastasized to my lungs, side, and various lymph nodes throughout my body, with more local reoccurrence. I was told I had 1 year to live. My journey with cancer began when I was 41 years old. It was intense. Within a year, I went from stage 1 to stage 4. Initially, we thought we had it under control, but it just kept coming back, stronger and spreading more and more out of control. Confronting a cancer diagnosis is an overwhelming experience. You're facing so much uncertainty and fear. Everything unfolds so quickly, it leaves you no moment to pause and process. Everything is a blur. Everything happens so fast. I barely had time to process it. It was a roller coaster of emotions and medical appointments. It was incredibly tough. So, how did it progress to stage 4 so quickly? This is my story. It all started March 6, 2022. My life took a heartbreaking turn when my mother passed away from complications due to cancer. It was a devastating time. It was incredibly hard. Just a few short weeks later, on April 1st, April Fool's out of all days, I found myself in a doctor's office, unaware that visit would redefine my life forever. It took 3 doctor's appointments before I was referred to a specialist. It's crucial to be your own advocate when you feel something is wrong within your body. Something is. June 7th, 2022. A date I'll never forget. Right there on the operating room table, I was awake for the procedure. And during the post-op overview, the doctor's concern was evident. He kept on referring to an area he was worried about. I asked Doc, "What's wrong? I have no idea what you're referring to." He was an experienced doctor and must have seen cancer so many times. There was no doubt. I saw it in his eyes as they seemed to water. His voice was breaking and in his tone. He had seen this battle countless times and simply replied, "Cancer." This hit me like a ton of bricks. My wife knew something was wrong the moment our eyes met as I walked out of those operating room doors. I couldn't speak. I just needed to get to the car. I made it through one set of doors before breaking down uncontrollably. August 2nd, 2022. Reality hitting hard. It was the day the weight of that diagnosis became undeniable. The day that forever changed the course of my life. The gravity of the situation starts to settle in. But I thought, I got this. Nothing to worry about. We caught it early. No point telling anyone. We'll just do what needs to get done and we'll get back to life. Oh boy. Looking back, I sure wish it was that easy. Searching the internet, it all sounded okay. Nothing to worry about. Squamous cell carcinoma rarely metastasizes, and when spreading does occur, it typically happens slowly and isn't life-threatening. In general, survival rates is high. When detected early, the 5-year survival rate is 99%. Even if it spreads to nearby lymph nodes, which it will, the cancer can effectively be treated through a combination of surgery and radiation. Sounds good, right? Okay, I got this. The internet and doctors made it seem like everything would be okay. But I overlooked the fact that mine was a rare, aggressive form of cancer. August and September were filled with endless tests to determine where I stood. In October, I was transferred to another hospital due to the rarity of my cancer. November 1st, 2022, my second surgery brought a glimmer of hope. We had plans A, B, and C, but the doctor was confident we would only have to follow plan A. I never even considered plan B or C. However, when I woke up in recovery with tubes hanging out of me from everywhere, the doctor informed me we had to implement all three plans. Despite this, we believed we had the situation under control. We were in a great position to live a full life. I was told at the time nothing else needed to be done. December 2022, pain begins to creep in, an unwelcome visitor, foreshadowing the challenging road that lied ahead for me. January 2023, pain, daily fevers, and night sweats began, and would persist for 6 months until I started to turn things around. I had multiple hospital visits, stays, tests, and biopsies. During a follow-up appointment, no one expected or believing it could be cancer again. We were planning a surgery to clean up the wound from the second surgery. When we were leaving the doctor's office, halfway out the door, the doctor got an alert on his computer. The test results were in. Okay, brace yourself, he says. The results were confirming a new local reoccurrence of cancer. We were all in shock and devastation just sets in. The new CT scan reveals a new local reoccurrence of cancer. A 14.8 by 11.2 centimeter tumor, bigger than the size of a softball. It's astonishing how quickly cancer can emerge and grow so out of control. It was so intense. Honestly, the only thing that kept me going was my family, friends, and hope. There was no way I was giving up. February 1st, 2023, an emergency surgery, and a hospital stay stretching into months. A quick aside, during that surgery, I had significant blood loss, which caused my hemoglobin levels to drop so low I required a blood transfusion. It wasn't until I started my keto diet in the summer that my hemoglobin levels really rise and eventually normalized. 2 weeks after the surgery, I began chemo and radiation therapy. Radiation was a daily routine. Chemo treatment occurred once a week. Mid-March 2023, I was getting ready to leave the hospital. Before a long car ride home, I went to the bathroom. On my way back to the bathroom, I pass out. My poor wife. An emergency scan revealed I had a blood clot form in one of my arteries leading to my heart. So, I had an open wound that needed to heal from the bottom up. It was a malignant fungating wound, and it was causing me all sorts of trouble. The wound was 11 by 10 by 8 centimeters, with raised edges about 3 centimeters thick. Imagine a big hole with a donut on top. It is something out of a horror movie. That image burnt in my mind still haunts me. In late March 2023, I got a severe infection, a cruel twist, sepsis, an unexpected adversary claiming its toll on my already difficult journey. My terrified wife. We were told I may not make it the weekend. I don't remember this, but my wife told me. I looked at her, hugged her, and said, I'm not going to die. Something out of a movie. At that point, I was on so many medications that I had to write down a schedule just to keep track of everything. April 2023. I was sent an angel, a home care nurse like no other. Someone was able to finally start getting that wound under control so it could start to heal. Well, with treatment coming to an end, we now wait and see what the next CT scan will reveal. During the break in treatment, I developed a cough. Initially, didn't think much of it. June 2nd, 2023. CT scan results. Verdict: the cancer had metastasized despite the treatment. A grim reality shifting gears. The treatment didn't work. Transitioning to palliative care and focusing on a quality of life as it now becomes the compass for my uncertain road ahead. Time now measured in moments. I was granted a year, a fragile gift. I don't remember much of the day. It was a blur. I read the CT scan results before seeing the doctors that day. I was so oblivious. I put my full faith and hope into the healthcare system, not realizing how bad this was. As soon as I heard stage 4 incurable, it felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. They told me I had a year left, and it was like I was floating from afar, watching from afar and not hearing or absorbing much of what they were saying. All I remember were the words: stage 4, terminal, incurable, inoperable, palliative care, 1 year. Although they always seemed positive, we got this, we'll try this, the tone drastically changed to shift to defeat and no hope. My wife and I were at a loss for words. We shed a lot of tears that day. She asked what she can do to help. And all I wanted was for her to take me to the lake so I could sit there in peace and quiet. We spent the weekend as a family, putting away everything that unfolded on Friday and enjoyed life, making the most of the time and moments we had together. While horrible thoughts lingered in my head, breaking down every moment I was alone, as I started this emotional journey of coming to terms with my terminal diagnosis. Despite the struggles, I kept moving forward. Everything spiraled so out of control. On Monday, we went on a walk, and my first big outing since this all began since October. Unfortunately, we didn't realize the poor air quality due to the forest fires until the next day. On the way home, I couldn't catch my breath, and I couldn't stop coughing. Flashes of what might lie ahead of me, scaring me to my core. That night, I woke up in excruciating pain, and I had to take pain medication when I have not had to rely on until now. That day, I woke up with a new skin eruption. It felt that my world was falling apart. Everything was spiraling so out of control. I couldn't catch a break. My body was failing me. My blood work has been a mess for months. I hit rock bottom, feeling broken and exhausted. Okay, enough with the sad stuff. Fortunately, while this very painful chapter of my life concludes, another unfolds. A more promising, brighter future emerges. Hope. In the next video, I will let you know how I turn this all around. I hope my journey inspires and provides strength for those facing similar battles. Remember, even in our darkest hours, there's always a glimmer of hope. Stay strong, my friend. The support means the world to me. Thank you for listening and being here for me on my journey.